Good day, everyone. This is Quarantine Devotional number 6, entitled Love. John 15:12 and 13 reads, "My command is this, that we love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." We are to love each other as Jesus loved us, and He loved us enough to give His life for us. We may not have to die for someone, but there are other ways to practice sacrificial love. Listening to each other, helping each other in times of need, encouraging each other through words, touch, gifts, giving financially, and even of our time, and even obeying our parents are ways that we can love. I believe what motivates many in their Christian walk is their love for Christ. When I think of Jesus and how He loved, He healed, He cared for people, He taught disciples, He taught the crowds, He had compassion on many, He spent time with other children, He fed people, He prayed for us to have unity, and He died. And I think, well, how do I measure up to Jesus Christ? And I'm so far from it. I have quite a long way to go when I think of how Jesus set the example of His love. Normally when I love, I try to love through service, through helping someone out, through being there. I hardly say no when asked to do something. And I feel that that's one way that I show love, and in return I feel the same way. But I know there are people who need love in different areas, whether it's just by having gifts, a touch, encouraging word or words of encouragement. So I know Jesus, He displayed all those types of love. And as I try to, mimic Jesus and imitate Him, that I grew in that area. Nicole?
Hey everyone. Most people would define love as an emotion. The emotion could be passion, tenderness, affection. But however, we see from this scripture that love is depicted as a sacrificial act. It's very rare that you would have the necessity to die for another person in this way, physically. But genuine love involves some level of sacrifice. Take for instance 1 Corinthians 13:4 and the descriptions of love. It's kind, it's patient, it's not envious, it holds no records of wrongs, it protects, it trusts, it hopes, it perseveres. To me, all of those requires a level of sacrifice when it comes to it being given to another. Love is a defining characteristic of a Christian. John 13:35, Jesus said, "By this all men would know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." Jesus described the measure and quality of His love for them to use as a pattern for the way they should love each other. Sometimes it's very difficult to love others. My tendency is to withdraw, sadly, and pull back from the person that I think is unlovable. What's your tendency? However, it doesn't matter how we feel, how we think. Jesus calls us higher. He calls us to love others the way that He loves us. John 3:16 says, "We know love by this, that He laid down His life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for our brother." This week I'm going to think about how could I lay down my life for another. And you can be thinking about the same as well.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. Love protects. And as Christians, during this time of quarantine, we are protecting each other and loving each other just by staying home, so that we don't spread the virus and allowing someone else to probably get the virus and end up in a state where they're not able to move about. Just obeying the government is another way of showing that we are loving God and loving each other when we encourage each other to obey the government. So as we protect each other and obey, we are showing love even during this time. And it might be a little different than usual, but I believe that this is a way of God showing us we can love in all circumstances and in different ways. And I believe these times are the times when we have to be using social media. And thank God that He allowed social media to be available at this time so that we can interact even though we are not physically there to see each other eye to eye. So as we think about love and Jesus laying down his life, we staying home laying down our lives so that at the end of all this quarantine we can meet each other again, see each other, and just be glad that we survive through this quarantine, through this COVID, and that we can love each other when we meet each other again. We miss everyone, and we are looking forward to seeing everyone again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.